All right, so while we weren't gonna get our internet up, what do y'all think about the 666 crash?
Well, it's kind of interesting that when somebody hear 666, they always think of Bible, and so Revelation, Satan, Mark of the Beast. These are some of the things people think of. Um,
So you think that Satan has something to do with it? Possibly, or it's a satanic number, like what you're saying?
Yeah, people think of 666 as a satanic number. I mean, like when you go to the store and they give you back $6.66, you like, let me buy one more thing.
A lot of people do. I do.
Let me buy one more thing because you don't necessarily want $6.66 back.
It lends the idea that possibly that these guys can manipulate the market, because I don't know. I believe in Satan. I believe in the Lord that created Satan. But do I believe that the Lord or the Creator or Satan himself made the stock market land on 666 or 665.75 to be exact? I think it was man that did this mess. I think man just did that.
So you think that man has the ability to control and the numbers and to put us up in an array, or just to let us know that he's running this thing.
And I wish that internet would come up, because it's the last time that it landed on 666 was a significant day in history, and I wanted to find out or pull up on here exactly when that date was. So yeah, I believe man does have the ability to control those numbers. And I believe he did. I believe he chose to do it.
What does 666 mean? Which question? Internet is up.
Okay. I got word that the internet is up. All right, so we could go back to Google. All right, what's our first question?
Our first question was, what exactly is 666? Why are people so cautious, or take caution when they hear this number?
So what is 666? It says, what does 666 mean? What is the mark of the beast? Bible questions. According to the last book of the Bible, 666 is the number or name of the wild beast with 7 heads and 10 horns that comes out of the sea. Revelation chapter 13, verse 1, 17, and 18. This beast is a symbol of the worldwide political system, which rules over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. It's Revelation chapter 13. So 666 is the number given to the person that's supposed to be who? The beast that rises out of the sea, the beast that's supposed to come and do all of this bad stuff to the earth. 666 is his number, or the number of his name. Let me go over here to Bible Gateway. Right?
Right. Because I remember somewhere it says, 666 it's the number of his name. It's the number of his name.
All right. So the thing about 666 though, and I'm not trying to discredit this thing or say or give it any more credit than it deserves, but I do know that the 666 being representative of this evil thing, as so spoke of in Revelation, people tend to use it and put it everywhere. They tend to see it everywhere. They tend to make it be everywhere, and even places that it's not, they tend to see it. 666 all over everything. Like, they see it in the what's that Muslim symbol. Let me put that in here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Muslim. Oh, they ain't gonna show. I ain't got the pictures turned on. But they believe that it's in that symbol, that Muslim symbol has 6666. So what they do is they put that there to kind of scare the Christian people, make them think that something bad is going to happen or is going to happen, or make them think that the person is a bad person or a thing is a bad thing, just because they don't want y'all to be messing with it. They want to make you run from it simply by putting 666 on it. And so my idea that they have manipulated the market to end in 666. I ain't saying they manipulated to take such a huge downturn, which they probably could have done so too, but to make it land on $665.75, I believe was intentional. And they did it. They did it just to say that we are in charge of the market. We control the market. The market is controlled by us, not you holy people and people that don't really care, don't believe in nothing. We don't really care. We control these systems.
So you don't believe that the 666 number has anything to do biblically, or you're not saying that it does or it does not?
Well, it very well could. I mean, I ain't definitely trying to discredit it or nothing, but it's just that I know that man can control the stock market. That I feel like, yeah, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Let's see.
So let's talk about, do you believe that, if man is not or is controlling it, do you believe or does the Bible say anything about Satan and finances? What would Satan have to do with finances? How is he even a part? I know that there's scripture about, in the end times we won't be able to buy and sell, but that has nothing to do with Satan. That has to do with the tribulation. So is Satan in the finances?
Well, we know that the finances is a replacement for the Father. By having money, you don't really have to have money or worry about money, all the time. And so Satan uses that to steer us away from steer us away from the Father by using money and such things. But let me type that question in. Okay, what's the question again? Give me the question.
The question is it how? What is the question? The question is Satan a part of the financial world, or is it blessings from Yah? Or because when we receive money, the first thing we say is, praise the Lord. We don't think of it as being, satanic or anything. So I'm saying, are we mistaken to think that Satan is part of finances, or is it the Lord that's blessing us with this finances?
Because your money comes from God. Your money comes from.
Your money comes from Yah, come from Satan, or is it a mixture of both? Or the scripture says you cannot serve Yah and money. And that the scripture says that, the love of money, those are, that's the difference between having and loving and serving. So is it bad or is it good?
Okay, first of all, let's try to define what money is. Let's see how to define money. What is money? And I got a little bit distracted. I was trying to get these images off the screen. Money says a current medium of exchange in the form of coins or banknotes collectively. So it's a form of, according to this, is a form of medium of exchange in the form of coins or banknotes. So you have banknotes, as in paper money, coins as in coin, but it's a form of medium of exchange. So, but when you think of gold and silver in chunks, then it wouldn't qualify as money, right? If I had a block of gold, if this was solid gold right here, that I done melted down and you know, it's pure gold or 24 gold, whatever it is, and it's real gold, and I set it here, like for instance, this here, this is not money, right?
Right.
Right. So you say, well, that means that your wealth is not money according to this definition. Like your house, your car, or any of your other assets are not necessarily money, whereas food stamps would be money.
It's a medium of exchange.
It's a medium of exchange in the form. I mean, it used to come in banknotes, or was it a banknote? Was that food stamp a banknote? I know, really sophisticated.
I remember when we were younger and we were kids, they had it like in a little checkbook. Do you remember that? And they were.
Oh, I remember some food
like
stamps.
The dollar bills were white and brown, and then you had.
I done spent enough food stamps for all of us.
Orange was red, was blue, was green, was. And remember, you couldn't tear them out of the book.
No, if it was over if it was a $5 over, you couldn't tell. You could tear the dollars out.
Yeah.
But you couldn't take the $5 ones.
Oh, you know it all. You know it.
Yeah, you couldn't take them. If you took them out, you had to know that you had to. You was under the gun. You had to find somebody that's gonna take it.
Verify. You had to have a food stamp card.
Yeah, you had to have a
You
food
show them
stamp
your
card.
card if it wasn't in the book.
So here go food stamps right here. So here's a picture of food stamps. What they used to look like. So, but doesn't it say banknote? It says U.S. Department of Agriculture, but is that a banknote? You see, it's got all of these, you know, markings all over it and stuff. See, they used to come. This is where they used to be. And you say, well, is it a does it say banknote on it? I don't see that necessarily. Except under conditions prescribed by the Secretary of Agriculture. So it's non-transferable. So I don't know if this is a banknote. Well, let's look at what a dollar looks like then. Because I think it says banknote. And I don't know if taking an image of an image is bad, guys. I might be getting ready to talk about it. I don't know. It says, in God we trust. I know I see the little wicked demon right here. Remember that demon that's right there? And there over his face. Remember this whole web. This whole web is in here. We see that. We see.
I don't remember. I've never, examined it closely. Probably like I should, but I don't remember it saying that.
Well, everyone other we can see when we get into those. Let's see. That's the back side. Let's see what the front side says. Federal Reserve note. And the Federal Reserve is technically a bank, right? So money is very, very precise on what money is, right? Food stamps is not money. Gold is not more than money, except for gold coins.
Because you can walk into a grocery store and have a bullion, and they're not going to give you no grocery. They're going to look at you like, no, we don't accept that.
If you got some savvy folk in the back, the
Yeah,
managers
but I'm
back
saying the
there,
everyday cashier.
the everyday cashier, no,
I went to Dollar Tree and I had a gold, you know, when they was giving us gold dollars out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, we don't accept this. I'm like, are you serious?
No, they don't, because it's only what they recognize as currency.
And she had to bring in the manager to go and say,
And the
yeah,
manager had to
that's
come and explain
$8.
to her
Yeah,
that you don't know what money look like no more.
What the heck?
You're right, you don't know what money look like no more.
It's not made out of gold, but it's made out of brass and tin and all that.
Yeah, so the gold. So this form right here is not money then. He wants to show off his little thing, but this right here is not money.
So money is considered the dollars, the coins, and the dollars and the coins.
Yeah, so it's not credit cards then. So it's not. I mean, it's not a lot of things. It's very specific. It's for it to be considered money. It has to be on a banknote, right, or a coin.
So is it considered that? Okay.
Well, if you reduce it down to just the element that you're talking about, cash, money. You're talking about. I mean, what else is it? Your credit card is not money. Your credit card is not money. Your food stamps is not money. Your I don't know, stocks and bonds. I don't know money orders. That's a banknote. Sticky cashier checks. That's a banknote. Checks. Not a banknote. That's your note. It's not a banknote. They don't have a bank. They have a bank on it, but the bank ain't backing it up. You backing it up. When they say it's a banknote, that means the bank is backing it up. You can take this to the bank and they gonna give you your money. You know, you take your check to the bank and you may or may not come back with some money.
I want to cash your check and I'll charge you $35 just to give you that check. No, they kept it down there too.
They said they looking
For you, they want to see you.
So is it? I'm still wondering is because it's the dollar, the paper, and the coins. Is it bad?
I think it's bad. If you reduce it down to just paper and coins and say that's what it is, then yeah, it is, because it's idolatrous. It's in its pure, it is in its most simplest form. It's full of idolatry because everything about it has these little wicked faces all over it. You know, whether it be whoever it is, it's money. It's idolatrous. And the Lord tells us to hate anything He hates, and simply because it has this picture on it, He hates it. I mean, he don't care. You can put your picture on anything, and you change it to something that He dislikes. He don't want our images on anything. You know, you post your face on your shirt, your truck, whether your wall of your house or whatever. You change that thing to be bad. So in itself, yeah, it's bad. It's idolatrous. Then you look at what it's used for. It's used as the replacement for the Father. Money in itself is used for the replacement of God. I mean, I don't know if I'm the reasonator of this thought, but I'm going to put it in and see what happens. Money is the replacement for, I'm going to put God because I'm talking to the enemy. Why money is the replacement for God? Because when you have money, you don't need God. You don't have to have Him. You don't have to have the Creator. Like we was talking about yesterday. If you won the lottery, if you won the lottery for $500 million, whatever the lottery, let's see, what is the lottery? Work on a fire.
Say that again. If you what now?
All right, it's $145 million. The Powerball right now is $145 million. If that would mean that if you won it with your ticket, they're going to give you 89.6. We'll say $90 million. They're going to put $90 million in your class. That's after they done took their portion or whatever. And they may even take taxes out. I don't know. But $90 million. Even if they ain't taking taxes out, we're going to say $50 million you get to walk away with. What do you need now? What do you need the Lord for? Journey, what would you pray for? What would you have a need for? What are you praying for now? What kind of stuff do you pray for on a daily basis right now?
Stuff I need.
Help.
First thing she said was good health.
Health and stuff she needs.
So if she had all the money, then she wouldn't necessarily be meditating and praying to the Lord for money. She would just go out and find the best doctor she could and take care of her ailments.
Well, you would think you wouldn't be like that. You would think, okay, if I had money, I would still pray for my health. I would still let the Lord be my doctor, whatever. But you look at past history. When we had the opportunity to do such things, we signed up for the most expensive healthcare plan we could come up with. I mean, literally. I went through the thing and said, okay, y'all want me to answer these questions on the spot real quick or fast and in a hurry, so fine. Expensive must be better, and I want the best you got, so whichever one costs the most, that's what I want. And we wasn't necessarily praying for our health. We went to the doctor anytime we wanted, anytime and every time. We had to pay, I think, a $20 copay is what we had to pay, and that was it. That was all we had to pay. We had no need to pray for our health. Our health was not a concern, that something that we needed to bother the Father with. And then you say the things that you need. What would you need? So you praying for the things money can buy now. If you had, $89 million, what would you be praying for? What kind of things would you be praying for? Like name one thing right now that you pray for.
I would say,
Tractor. But if you had $89 million, how much time are you going to spend praying for a tractor?
Probably not money. I probably wouldn't even, it's bad to say, but you wouldn't even think about saying, Lord, should I go even buy this tractor? Right? You would go and say, you would go over there and put Kabuta the tractor place, and you would say, you might say, Lord, is this the right one I should get? But asking him,
yeah, is it gonna do? Yeah, and the only reason why you're doing that is because you could get it home and it not have all the features that you need. It ain't got the hydraulic, it ain't got the PTO on it. So you like, Lord, please let me make a right mistake. Let me make the right decision on getting the right tractor. But what happens if you don't? You go back and you get another. You got $89 million. The thing is, you don't need the Father. You don't need Him for anything. You don't need Him for help. I mean, they have the ability to sew people's heads back on. Let's pull right up.
Like with the tractor, you wouldn't even put a dent in your budget with the tractor, because the biggest tractor ever only cost $300,000.
First human head-to-body transplant. Russian man undergoes human head to body transplant. So now, if they can replace your whole head, I think you hearing it in your thing over there, Stacey. I'm about to edit it through FaceTime. Huh? I'm gonna put a block over his face. Let me see if I can find
Oh, food stamps.
him. Need to make a what?
You need to see if you can make a program where it recognizes where somebody's face is and puts a block over their head.
Yeah, so this guy right here, I can't hear what he's saying, but this guy right here, he done apparently got a head. He got a new head. Or he needs a new head. Look, yeah, his body is jacked up, so he needs a new head. So here you are. How sick do you have to be that you just need a whole new body? This whole new all. But they got the opportunity to do so. They're gonna take his head off of his shoulder. Put it off.
Put it on a new body.
And then they're gonna put it on a new body. Alright, so I'm gonna take this one. I don't know, I don't know.
So you're saying that if they can do all this, you definitely can do.
No, you're going to go to the doctor. And so, did he say love? Money can't buy you love? Money can buy you love.
Yeah, money can definitely buy you love.
So, you happiness, success, it can buy you, so the more of it that you have, the less of it that you need our Heavenly Father for. The less we need Him for. We don't need Him for anything. Only thing we need Him for is our salvation and the stuff that we can't affect here in this world. The stuff that we can't do anything about right now, That's the only thing that we need Him for. And that's what we end up with. It was a bunch of people going down there to the church hoping that he can, the church guy can get their souls right. Because other than, that period of time, church on Sunday, they don't need the Father. They don't need Him for anything.
Yeah, I'm saying, there is except for, like you said, salvation, things. Yeah. I mean, money can buy you blood.
Yeah. You go buy you life. You can get some kidneys. You can get a heart. You can get whatever you want. Yeah. But without money, you're dependent on Him. You can't get food. You can't get shelter. You can't get clothing. You can't get transportation. You can't get communication. You can't get education. You can't get sanitation. You can't get a whole lot of Asians. You are stuck without money in this current world. One that has the Father will make an argument that I can't. But without money, I guess I should say, without money or the Lord in this period that you live in, you're living under the bridge. You're living in the box. Best you got is a cardboard box with a basket. That's your mansion and your Lexus is a cardboard box
Shopping.
and a shopping cart. And and that's what we've been trained. We've been trained that way since we entered into grammar school. When we entered in grammar school, they started that.
So if you don't have money, you are looked at as this person who has the shopping cart and the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Even though you're not pushing shopping on shopping road, you're still looked at as this person that has a shopping cart and a cardboard box.
Well, because we've been trained that. See, back in the 90s when we started this journey, this path of spiritual, holiness, Bible reading or whatever, we were trying to living and learning loving and learning the Word of God as we talked about. People were trying it. People were talking about stepping out on faith and actually trying this Lord thing, and people actually tried it, but they failed. They crashed. They crashed and they burned. Right? I'm in the wrong place. They crashed and they burned in that it didn't work. No,
Why didn't it work?
because they didn't tell us what we had to do it. They didn't tell us that we were supposed to be keeping the commandments. You stepping out on faith, one thing. No, you actually need to be stepping out on the word of God. You need to be stepping out on, this platform. And so it didn't work because people were purely stepping out on faith. And faith can get you a long way. It does a lot of good in the eyes of the Father. But you can't learn the commandments through faith. You don't learn where your errors are through pure faith. You got to have education too, so you need faith and education. So we had the faith, but we didn't have the education. And it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people. A lot of people have tried this thing. And each time they tried, and each time somebody else has tried to step out on faith, they find themselves right where we are now, and that's impoverished, disenfranchised, alone, not have a whole lot of money, not have this stuff, and a lot of them turn back.
So
A lot of them.
you have out on faith, but you also have to have
What you said.
You have to have knowledge of the word. You have to have the scripture. You have to read it. Stepping out on faith, that will go a long way to getting the Lord to help you. But you still got to read it for yourself, because you still got to know the commandments. You still got to know when to stand up. You still got to know when to sit down. You got to know when to, like the Bible said, there's a time to drink, and there's a time to be sober. There's a time to, sleep in the tent, and there's a time to sleep in the house. And you have to know that. And the only way you're going to know that is through educating yourself. And the only way you're going to get an education is through the scriptures. You're not going to educate yourself through TV evangelists or your pastor or your preacher. Let's see. Let's see a video. 666 market crash. And Stacey, you're the one that actually can hear this stuff, I think.
The stock market goes down 666 today.
Can you hear? You cannot now either? Like, can you hear you? Can you hear all that, man? Yeah. It makes you talk funny when you put this thing on.
You can just start Last day's visionaries, number 1 and number 2 of 144,000 trillions for Christ. Okay, as I was telling you, false flags are coming. The war is coming. So the stock market goes down 666 today. That happened on September 29th, 2008. Right
I don't know how we can fix that.
before
More of us
that
can hear.
evening is when Rosh
Hey, that water ever
Hashanah was
get going?
commencing. When it went down minus 777. You think God was trying to tell us something back then? Yes. Do you think he's trying to tell us something now? Yes.
So we'll download that video.
This is it just happened to go down 666. Okay?
So he
We
believes
know that the elite
God
can pull
did it.
the
And there's a lot
plug
of people
at
gonna
any
believe
time
Satan
they
did it.
want
And I personally
on the
believe that
stock
man did
market.
it. And a lot of people going to believe that
And
it
they are
just happened.
truly trying to tell us, get ready, boys and girls.
Yeah. Well,
We're
my
going to
thing
start
is, what if
bombing
it
you
is
at the
real?
Super Bowl.
What if
Okay?
this is the
We'll
economic
start
crash that
taking out your
everybody's been waiting on?
congressmen. Anyone who messes with our pedophile,
They have effectively gotten
human
us
trafficking
to the point
rings can have helicopter crashes. Okay? So here we go.
Where, all right, take it out.
Here's a false flag. Okay? And many more to come. If you don't know Jesus Christ, say, Jesus, I know you died for my sins. Give me your new heart and your new spirit. From this day forward, I want more of you. Amen.
Stop when it won't stop. All right. So what else? What else can we decide? We had 30 minutes. What else can we decide? We had 40 minutes almost. What else can we talk about? Let this be part one, or we're gonna keep going.
Well, I guess we can talk about a person that, someone that's curious, what can they start doing to prepare? Or do they need to prepare?
Thing is, what would you do? How can you prepare? Let's see. They got plenty of websites for it. Let me put in one. How to prepare for the economic collapse. We got 6 ways to prepare for economic collapse. This is WikiHow. An economic collapse means a breakdown of the national economy. It would be characterized by long-term downturn in economic activity, increased poverty, and a disruption of the social order, including protests. Let's talk about this.
Well, let me ask you this question. What does Notre Dame say? When is that
prediction supposed to happen? Prediction said it's supposed to happen.
Hold that. Can you hold that one after we finish this? Let's come back to that one. All right. It says the economic collapse means a breakdown of the national economy. So you guys know what the national economy means, right? Y'all know what that is? Y'all know what economy means? Okay, we got some young guys in the audience, so we're going to look up economy. Economy, the wealth and resources of a country or region. So the wealth and resources of the whole country. That's the economy. Like we have a personal economy. We have wealth and resources, so we have a personal economy. Right? Everybody has their own micro economy.
Like ours, this
It's part of our economy. Yeah, it's part of our resources. And if we don't have the chickens, we have to replace the eggs with other kind of food, or we'll end up having us to go to the store, which would definitely affect the economy. So yeah, everything. Especially in terms of production and consumption of goods and services. So there you go, the goods of the chickens, and then you have services too that maybe affect. So that's what that is. Now I can get back to work. When we zone. So this is the national economy. This is a breakdown of the national economy, right? It would be characterized by long-term downturn in economic activity. Now what that means is long-term, for years, downturn in economic activity means people stop spending money. primarily they stopped taking out loans because we're on a debt-based economy, and we have to have loans. People have to make loans daily or regularly in order to keep our economy growing. People all of a sudden decided that they weren't going to take any loans. They were just going to use the money that they have. They weren't going to use any credit cards or any, they were just going to use what they had. Our economy would actually collapse on itself and die.
So where does the money from the lottery come from?
The people that play the lottery. It costs you $2 to buy a lottery ticket. About $1 of that goes towards that $90 million, and the other half, I think, goes to other things like education and roads and stuff.
Came from
The government come over and give you that? Yeah. No. They just gets a lot of it. All right. And okay, so that's one thing, is a decrease in economic activity means if you own a little store, people are going to stop coming to your store. They stop coming by your stuff. But it's also increased poverty. Okay, there's increased poverty because people at the store stop having money, and they can't, and mom and dad don't get as many little jobs, or their job may be affected, and so a lot of people will become poor. There's a disruption in the social order. Now, this is a good way of saying chaos, in that the rich ain't rich no more. The social order, when we're talking about a disruption in the social order, we're talking about the fact that I am not in a position of any type of good anymore. I'm going to be standing down on the soup line right beside the same guy that's been asking me for money every time I go down to what's it called. He see me asking for money. Now me and him going to be standing together. There's no more social structure. I'm not higher. Now I'm not over him anymore. So it's a disruption. Okay, but and then you have it in this way that they're writing here. They have social. They talking about protests and that kind of thing, where people are actually having riots. When the price of food goes up and people can't afford it and they start to get hungry, they're going to start trying to take it. They're going to try to start to take it by force. And they will team up, and they're going to march on a Walmart, and they're going to march on a grocery store, or march on something where they think they can get food from. So that's what they're also calling social disruption in social order, including protests, riots, and possibly violence. In some cases, the collapse will be akin to a deep recession. Okay, so you guys need to know what a recession is. A period of temporary economic decline during the trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in gross domestic product in 2 successive quarters. Okay, so this is a highly technical term. A period of temporary economic decline, meaning people stop spending money, during which the trade and industrial activities are reduced, meaning people stop spending money, generally identified by fall in the gross domestic product, which means people stop spending money, in 2 successive quarters. So about 6 months. People stop spending money for 6 months, then we'll start talking about a recession. Right. So that lets you know now. Yesterday was the very first day of we don't know how long this thing will last, but even if it's gonna last for 100 or 1,000 years, it's still gonna be 6 months before they realize we're in trouble. Because of this definition here, it's going to be 6 months before people start to say, "Oh, we're in a recession." That's 6 months from now. So you think about June, July-ish is when people will start to notice. As if the economy keeps going down and down and down and down and down. Around later May or June is when people will start to say, "I think something's wrong."
When was the last recession?
Let's see. The Great Recession was the worst since 1929 Depression. It was also the longest since the Depression, lasting 18 months, from December 2007 to June 2009. The recession ended in quarter 3, 2009, when GWP turned positive, thanks to the economic stimulus package, when they gave all that money to all of the car guys and such. So, and that's what we're worried about, is because of this economic stimulus package, the economy was not allowed to take care of itself. We artificially fixed it. It was artificially fixed by the economic stimulus package.
So they didn't let it recover itself.
They didn't let it recover itself, right?
So now it's like giving a vaccine instead of letting it gain immunity on its own.
Yeah, you've propped it up with medicine, and yeah, it's still sick. The thing is, it's even sicker now, because if you'd have let it go ahead and take its course, then you wouldn't have you would have been better off. But now it's more sick, and you think if you have a medicine kind of like penicillin or something like that, the regular immunities could have worn off. But see, this is our economy right here. This goes all the way back to 1870, all the way up to, no, that only goes to 2010. But as you can see, it's on like this kind of march up here, but you see it kind of goes up and then it kind of comes back down. See, this is what they call a bubble right here. And then this thing will pop and it will drop all the way back down here. When the economy drops all the way back down here, that's when people start to say, okay, we're doing okay, and then they start to build it again. And then it'll build up so high, and then they'll smack it back down. And that's the way it does. Build up so high, smack it back down. Build up high, smack it back down. Build up high, smack it back down. Build up a little bit higher, smack it back up a little bit further. And the thing is, see, this is up to 2010. Let me see if I can find a better one. I'm not sure if this is a good one to look at. See how it goes up, 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 then it comes back down. Up, 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 then it comes back down. Well, this one right here was 2008 when they artificially stopped it, and ever since then it's been on a steady decline up. It's straight up. It's not ever come back down. And up in here is when let's see, the last 5. That's what it's been doing in the last 5 years, ever since 2008 or whenever. And in the last year, since Trump has been in office, he's been taking credit for this steadily just up. He's been taking credit for it ain't turned down at all. It's just straight up. And this happened in the last, well, not really day. That's back in January 26th. So it's been dropping. It's been dropping pretty bad this whole time. This whole week, I should say. Let's see. In the last 3 months. Yeah, you can see it's starting to fall off. His run is actually starting to decline ever since January 20th, which is when he came in and said that, you know, we got the best economy since wherever.
Is that when he did the State of the Union?
No, he just did that the other day.
So we can look up what happened on January 26th.
And this is, I say 26 or the 20th.
It was the 26th with that peak money.
Yeah, it's 26. Yeah, so you can look to see what happened on the 26th, because it's been going down ever since. What was January 26th? Anybody remember? That was Monday. Oh, February, yeah. 26 was last Friday. That was the day I got back. Friday. The second, but we didn't have 2 Wednesday, Saturdays. No. It was only one. 'Cause I know it didn't come back. Yeah, it didn't come back on. I was supposed to come back on Tuesday, my birthday. It was supposed to come back on my birthday. I didn't. Stayed on the Sabbath day, which was Wednesday, and then went back to work on Thursday, and then came back on Friday. So on Friday, ever since I left DC.
No, it wasn't.
I was.
No,
No. I might have been. Was I? Yeah, you're right. Sure was. So we got back on the 19th. So this is something that happened Friday. Now I heard somebody say something about the FISA memo. Let's see, what is the FISA memo? I don't really know what that is anyway. Did somebody take the fire though? Did T-Water ever start boiling? Now the FISA memo just came out. Headlines for January 26, 2018. Got somebody's face in here. Trump ordered Mueller be fired. Back off after White House lawyer said he quit. So this is the New York Times. You remember when Trump came out? I might not remember that. He come and said it was fake news. All right, watch your face come on. Matter of fact, let me turn that toggle. Let me toggle this thing now.
So Mueller is out.
No, they can't. You can't fire Mueller. He ain't fired him yet. You can't. I don't think he's gonna be that. Figure out how to. When he's gonna figure out how to fire Mueller. President Trump ordered the firing of Special Counsel Robert Mueller last June, and only backed away from his demand after a top White House lawyer, Donald McCann, said he'd rather resign than carry out Trump's order. So this happened a while back. But this is what came out on January 26th. Let's see if there's anything else. Let me see. Trump. January 26th.
highlights.
27 minutes long. This is DeVos. Let's see. I was going to try to show you.
Thank you,
You
class,
hear
very
everything?
much. It's a privilege to be here at this forum where leaders in business, science, art,
Okay.
diplomacy, and world affairs have gathered for many years to discuss how we can advance prosperity, security, and peace. I'm here today to represent the interests of the American people and to affirm America's friendship and partnership in
I'm going to come and say, who wrote this? A fifth grader?
represented at this great forum. America hopes for a future in which everyone can prosper.
So we'll take that one and we'll add that to it. Because that's the only thing I see that happened on the 26th. We'll have to look at that. See, so we'll download that video too. And then add it to the file.
Forgotten communities, creating exciting new opportunities,
All right, what else?
and helping every American find their path to the American dream. The dream
I think we'll have to come back and do a part two. So what?
of a better life.
Who gives a what?
nation,
What?
United States, is once again experiencing
Because, I mean, who cares?
economic growth.
If it doesn't make,
Stock market is smashing
it really get out of cut.
and has added more than $7 trillion
Yeah, how does it affect you?
since my election.
What should you be doing?
Confidence
And plus, we just getting a little long. So we're going to go ahead and end this one.
are the highest they have been.
Any closing comments? We're right at an hour.
Since my election, we've created 2.4 million jobs, and that number is going up very, very substantially. Small business optimism is at an all-time high. New unemployment claims are near the lowest we've
You doing a
seen
mic check?
in almost half a century.
Go ahead and say
African-American unemployment has reached the lowest rate recorded in the United States.
Tell everybody how you burnt, almost burned your nipple off.
Oh, Lord, big. Oh, God, you.
Yeah, everybody know. You take a picture of his burnt off twisted nipple.
It's crispy.
Some people don't like crispy. All right, we out. Yehoshua HaMashiach is your son Christ. What's the Greek word for that? thought you was gonna be able to make the tree. Make the tree? Hmm?
Maybe I'll get some. Yep.
It's okay. How's it looking? We letting the sound go. It's the visual editing. Federal Reserve note. And the Federal Reserve is technically a bank, right? So money is very, very precise.
Why are you so small?
Right.
You quit, Will. You quit. Hmm? Oh,
Is technically a bank, right? Is very, very precise on what money is. Federal Reserve note. And the Federal Reserve is technically a bank, right? Federal Reserve note. And the Federal Reserve is technically a bank, right? So money is very, very precise on what money is, right? Yeah, who's just been better to that go grab a picture and modify it. Okay, so that's good. That's really good. We'll check that out later. So you can keep going.